What's up, everybody? Sports Estimators back again with another video. Today we'll be bringing you NFL Week 3 pick'ems, Liga MX Jornada 9, and a recap of the Champions League banging Week 1 matchups that we had this week. We'll start off with NFL Week 3.
Since we're recording this live as the Thursday night game is going on, the Bills are currently playing the Dolphins. Bills are currently up 21-14, so we'll go ahead and start with Sunday's games. First one up, we got Green Bay at Cleveland.
You want me to go first on who I got?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I mean, none other than Green Bay. Green Bay is set to win money line minus 450 as of today, Thursday. Spread is 7 points at minus 120. I don't know, do whatever you want. Actually, Browns actually has a really good defense, but who do you got?
I'm taking Green Bay. I think they've looked, after the first 2 weeks, they've looked like the best team in football so far.
Yep.
As far as their performances. And Cleveland's coming off of a beat down from the Ravens.
Yep.
So I like Green Bay in this game.
One thing that I'm not going to bet it, but I wouldn't be mad if I heard somebody say they'd take the Browns on the spread.
Yeah. Because they're getting, what do you have? I have minus 7.5.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I have minus 7.
Okay. Either way, yeah, I think, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland covers because, we know their defense is one of the best in the league. It's just if they can put up enough points because Green Bay, these might be the top 2 defenses so far. Like, that we've seen.
Yeah, because Ravens, I mean, on the scoreboard, on the score sheet, it doesn't look like the Browns have a good defense, but they do.
Yeah, personnel, and then they were giving Baltimore a game at first.
Yeah.
They just kind of let go of that game, but yeah. Next game, Colts at Tennessee.
I got the Colts. I'm riding high. I'm riding the train. Danny Dimes, bro. His time at the Giants, he was a bum. Like, he was a bum. He was a bum. He had spurts. He had, he showed his ceiling, but at the Colts, he's surpassed that. Colts have a good defense. They have a very good offense. The wide receiver room, like how we tapped into last week, is very good. They have a very good tight end. The running back is it's a night and day.
Maybe a top 5 running back in the league?
Yeah.
Maybe. JT?
He's top 5 for me.
Okay.
But it's a night and day difference between the Giants and the Colts. So and then Danny Dimes is just the white version of Anthony Richardson. So, but I got the Colts winning. Who do you got?
So let me start off by saying that the Colts were lucky to win last week. Denver missed a 42-yard field goal with 3 minutes left in the fourth. That would have forced the Colts to get a touchdown. And then the Colts were going for a 60-yard field goal, and they missed, but there was a 15-yard penalty, so they got another shot at it.
Damn.
And it ended up being a 15-yard field goal, which, they eventually converted and won. I say all that to say I'm picking the Colts. Even though I feel like they were lucky to win last week, I think that performance from them against that Denver defense has validated that their offense is legit.
Yeah.
And even though the Titans do have a good defense and they're at home, I just think the Colts can do enough to get the win at Tennessee.
Would you take the Titan spread?
I have to cover 3.5.
Yeah.
I think I would, because the Titans are kind of entering that desperation. This is a kind of a desperation game for them, and it's a divisional rival. So those games are usually closer than you think. But I got to go with the Colts. Their offense is impressive, and their defense is pretty good. I think
they are.
When you factor in the Titans haven't looked good offensively, I just think the Colts should be able to beat them.
Yeah.
And then for the next game, we got Cincinnati at Minnesota. This is an interesting one because they both lost their starting quarterbacks last week.
It's the battle of ass to me, the battle of backup QBs versus each other. It should be a good one. Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz. Who do you got
Between those two or for the matchup?
for the matchup?
I'm taking Minnesota. Minnesota has the better defense,
Okay.
and I think people are kind of sleeping on Carson Wentz. I don't think he's washed. I think he's going to make enough plays against that Cincinnati Bengals defense, and I like Minnesota to win at home.
Minnesota is at home. I have Bengals winning. Jake Browning came in as a sub, or not came in as a sub, but he came in while Jacksonville was beating the Bengals. His stats were 21 for 32, 241 yards, 2 TDs, 3 interceptions though.
That's kind of gross.
It is gross, but he got the dub, which is what matters. I think that Minnesota's defense isn't as good. And I say that to say because Bijan Robinson ran for 143 yards versus the Vikings. And I think the Bengals' run game is not similar to the Falcons, but is pretty damn near close to that. So I have them winning.
Chase Brown hasn't looked good to start the year off.
He I think he had like 50 something yards last week.
Well, he hasn't been efficient.
Yeah.
I think he's averaging like 2 point something yards a carry, which isn't efficient. If Cincinnati can run the ball, then yeah, I think they'll get the win.
Yeah.
But if they don't, they're basically relying on Jake Browning, and Minnesota gets the quarterback. So if they're in a situation where the Bengals have to like play from behind, I think it could get ugly for them.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati wins, honestly. But I do like Minnesota.
Yeah, and I think Jamar Chase is going to go off. Jake Browning and him, they seem to like mesh really well together. Against
Jamar's down there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And last week showed it. I mean, he went off for 14 receptions, 165 yards, and 1 TD versus the Jags. So, I mean, those are pretty good stats. And Minnesota just offensively hasn't really shown much. I know J.J. McCarthy, he's a rookie, but in these past 2 games, I mean, he hasn't really been able to get nothing going. So,
yeah.
And if you sub in Carson Wentz in that offense, maybe he'll connect with Justin Jefferson. But I just overall, I think Cincinnati's gonna pull off the win.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. But
Yeah.
Next game up, Pittsburgh at New England.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
I got the Steelers winning.
Okay.
So minus 125, spread 1.5. Steelers did just lose to the Seahawks, 31-17. But Jalen Warren went off, bro. He went off for 14 carries,
Catching the ball.
48 yards, and 4 receptions, 86 yards. Aaron Rodgers
Receiving,
looked
yeah.
washed, though. He 18 for 33, 203 yards, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. And Drake May, coming off of potentially one of his better games with the Patriots, 19 for 33, 230 yards, 2 TDs. And Stevenson, Ramondre Stevenson, he had himself a fucking game against the Dolphins. He 11 carries, 54 yards, 5 receptions, and 88 yards. So, what are your takeaways from this game? What do you got?
I like Pittsburgh to win. I'm not trying to sound biased, but I'm not completely sold on the Patriots yet. I think their offense is going to improve as the season goes on.
Yeah.
But I think as far as like skill positions, they're probably definitely one of the bottom half teams in the league.
Yep.
I think Drake May, I think I said in the first podcast, he's going to prove he's a franchise quarterback this season. But I just don't know if there's enough around him for the Patriots to be, a playoff team or contending for that. Pittsburgh defense has looked really bad to start off the season, though. I've been very, very disappointed. Yeah. So even though the Patriots, I feel like, are limited offensively, the Steelers defense has not looked good. So it is a concern. But I think it's going to be a close game. And I think it's going to be one of those typical Steelers victories where it's like very ugly game, and then we get some sort of like turnover off defense or special teams, and it changes the momentum of the game, and they find a way to win.
Yeah.
Because last game against the Seahawks, the game was back and forth, and then I know why Caleb Johnson doesn't get a lot of opportunities, because I'm not going to say he costed the Steelers the game, but his mistake where he touched the ball on a return, and then he basically left it in the end zone, and then the Seahawks recovered it in the end zone, and they scored a touchdown like that. So
Damn.
I think we were wondering why he isn't getting more opportunities, and I think that kind of highlighted it. Maybe he's just not, locked in, or it's not necessarily a talent thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like Pittsburgh to beat New England. New England is favored. And the Steelers as an underdog under 3 points, Mike Tomlin usually finds a way to win those games.
Yeah, these are Mike Tomlin-esque games.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it, but he does it year after year after year after year. One thing to note, though, Christian Gonzalez is going to come back. I think he's set to make a return this week.
Oh, really?
So
I saw he was questionable.
Yeah. I think,
so he's set to come back?
Yeah. And DK Metcalf and the Aaron Rodgers link-up, I think Aaron Rodgers, came out and said that, he was going to give him the ball more this week. So that'll be interesting to see. So if we do see a lot more of DK Metcalf on offense, you guys could potentially, win this game.
The Steelers have also struggled to run the ball. I think that's been another issue, is that they're very dependent on Aaron Rodgers to bail them out.
Yeah.
So definitely want to see the Steelers improve running the ball. If they do that, then I think they should win this game pretty easily.
Yeah.
But that's a big if, because they have not looked good running the ball.
And Aaron Rodgers can't escape that pocket to try to run.
He'll make a couple plays, but yeah, it looks kind of he does look slow scrambling.
Bro.
It's not like the Perk Rogers days where he would it looked like he would kind of look to scramble, and extend the play. But yeah. Next game. Maybe the game of the week. I don't know how this isn't a primetime game. We got the Rams playing the Eagles in Philadelphia.
Oh my God, bro. The Tush Push Kings. Philly. Ugh. So, who do you got to win? Let's see. You kick it off.
I know last week we talked about how we aren't big on the Rams' skill position players.
Yep.
But I want to retract that a little bit.
Okay.
Because Devontae Adams had himself a game. And if he can be a 1B to Puka Nakua's 1A, then I think the Rams are like a legit team, like Super Bowl contending team. And this is a revenge game for them, because Philly knocked out the Rams in the playoffs last season. But I still got to take Philly at home. I just think these first two games, they've been struggling passing the ball. Jalen Hurts has been struggling to get the ball, to find his receivers. But I think Philly's kind of in a position where, I don't want to say they're overconfident, but they play to the level of competition, but they do just enough to win. And I think in this game, they'll just find a way to win. But I do think this is a potential upset alert, because Philly's favored by 3.5. So I could see the Rams winning this game.
Okay. So I want to piggyback of what you said with the Rams losing to Philly in the playoffs. Rams in the last 11 games are 9-2. The two only
against Philly
all time.
Oh, okay.
In their past 11 games, the past 11 games, they're 9-2. The only two losses are the Eagles.
Oh wow.
And again, piggybacking off of what you said, Jalen Hurts at this point should just be a running back, because, and I say that to say, I don't know how true this statement is, but I seen it on Twitter, so shout out to whatever account tweeted it. Jalen Hurts has more tush pushes this season than passes thrown past 5 yards. I don't know.
That's insane.
I don't know how true this is, but that's what I seen. I didn't fact check it, but occasional facts. But
Maybe it means like air yards.
I think air yards. I think air yards. Pass. So he has more tush push attempts than passes past 5 yards.
Tush push attempts. Okay.
So that's a crazy stat.
That is a crazy stat.
And I don't know if you've seen the controversy going around after the Kansas City Chiefs in the Philly game. Every time the Eagles ran the tush push, the offensive line for the Eagles was either offsides,
jumping early.
They were jumping early, or they were passing the line of they were past the line of scrimmage, and that the NFL needs to clean up. The refs this season have not shown that they've gotten any better. They're blowing plays. A lot of stuff just like they're sweeping a lot of shit under the rug. And we've seen this time and time again. Right now, the tides are turning. We've seen this, favorable calls going against the Kansas City Chiefs. And right now, those tides are turning for the Eagles. And that's bullshit. But we always see that with the team that has the most momentum, the most championship winning team, like off of the past
trying to create dynasty teams.
Yeah, we've seen that like calls go their ways with Tom Brady, with I don't know who else. Sometimes with Aaron Rodgers, Chiefs. But I have Philly winning because I think the Eagles are pretty smart. They hear the noise. They're gonna get A.J. Brown the ball. They're gonna throw it down to Devontae Adams, or not Devontae Smith. I think Dallas Goedert is supposed to come back. So we saw what he did week 1 against the Cowboys. But Rams defense is a good defense.
Yeah.
But you could take Rams on the spread. It's 3.5. But I think you could take the Rams. But overall, I think I got Philly winning.
Yeah. I agree.
We'll
see. That should be a good game. How is this not on a primetime game though? When you have I think the primetime game for Sunday night is the Chiefs and the Giants, right? Like, I think even Chiefs fans. No, I'm just kidding. No, but they need to do better with the primetime games.
As this season, I feel like they've just been chalking the primetime games, bro. Like,
I feel like every year, there's only like one primetime game. Maybe 2 a week where it's like, oh yeah, this is like the actual primetime game.
Yeah.
But I feel like they try and accommodate pretty much all the fan bases and give like every team like a primetime game. But it's like, no, if a team sucks, they shouldn't be on primetime. Yeah. You know what I mean?
We got spoiled week 1 with the Ravens and the Bills.
Well, there is a good Monday night game, not to get too ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the NFL needs to do better with picking the primetime games. And I think they flex them sometimes, right? Like in the past, I think once the schedule came out, it was set. But I feel like there's certain games throughout the year where like if a player gets hurt, star player gets hurt, or a team isn't doing well, they'll like switch it.
Yeah. So, I think last year they did that twice. I'm not sure what games, but I think they did do that twice last year.
They should do that more often because
they should. Like this game should have been the Sunday night game.
We'll see though. We got next game up is the Jets at Tampa Bay. Who you got?
Man, I got Tampa Bay, bro. Justin Fields ruled out with the concussion. Tyrod Taylor's going to be the starting QB. How many teams has Tyrod Taylor been on?
Bro, I have no idea.
I swear this is like his 6th team.
Honestly, I didn't even know he was still in the league until I saw that Fields got hurt, and then they said yeah. But I got Tampa Bay too. Once I saw that Justin Fields was out, I was like, I'm taking Tampa Bay. They're at home. They look better. And they've actually, their first 2 games, like even if it's a close game, Tampa Bay finds a way to win. Their first 2 games, they've had to make like game-winning drives in the fourth quarter. All right. Next game, we got the Raiders I was about to say Redskins, at Washington. Commanders.
Who do you got?
I like the Commanders in this game, but because it seems as of now that Jaden Daniels will play. So if he plays, I got the Commanders. If he's out, then I reserve the right to change my pick to the Raiders.
Because Marcus Mariota will be the backup, right?
Yeah. Yep. He would start if Jaden Daniels is out.
Whichever QB it is, I still got Washington to win. So, I mean, the Raiders looked okay, but not giving Ashton Genty, like the workload to run the ball is what's affecting this Raiders offense.
Mm-hmm.
If they were to give him the ball more, I feel like it'll open up the wide receivers a lot more. You can wear down the defense.
Yeah.
If they were to be a run first offense, I think that's how Raiders will be able to pull off wins throughout the season. But yeah, I don't know. Raiders need to figure it out.
I don't think he's looked that good with the workload he's gotten so far. Like he hasn't been efficient, but maybe that he's one of those running backs where they need like 20 plus carries to kind of get in rhythm, you know?
Yeah.
Because when he was at Boise State, he was basically like their whole offense.
Yeah.
So maybe he's not used to having like a limited workload. But yeah, I feel like I do agree that the Raiders need to figure out a way to run the ball.
Yeah.
Because they can't just rely on Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Especially since Brock Bowers, even though he's playing, he doesn't look like he's at 100%.
Yeah, he doesn't.
But next game is Atlanta at Carolina.
Atlanta, bro. They're Atlanta and Tampa Bay, the NFC South. It's going to be a race between them two. This is a conference game.
Not the Panthers or...
Hell nah. Bro, and then you know what's funny? I forgot Baker Mayfield was once upon a time the Panthers QB.
And he was their practice squad at the end.
You saw that? That's why I brought it up, because I was like, wait, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I just saw that today too.
He was with the Rams too.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
But, I mean, like we said, I got Atlanta winning. Bro, this dead team. I don't know how there's still a football team, bro. Who do you got?
Yeah, I got Atlanta. Last week, I think they kind of showed how good defensively they can be. Like the Vikings obviously aren't like the best offensive team, but I think Atlanta's defense is good, and then I think their offense is going to continue to get better as the season goes on. So I definitely like Atlanta. I actually like Atlanta to cover the 5.5 points, even though Carolina's at home. It's a divisional game, but I think Atlanta is going to look even better against Carolina.
Yeah, be interesting to see. I mean, Bryce Young is starting to find his groove, like kind of where he left off last season, but like his defense isn't coming through for him. So, I mean, Jesus Christ, man, that team needs all the help they can get. But moving on, Houston at Jacksonville. Who do you got? Another battle of ass.
Really?
I don't like Jacksonville. Houston.
I would say it's like a mid off.
Mid off.
Yeah. Like, honestly, if Houston wasn't 0-2, I would pick Jacksonville. But I'm gonna go with Houston because I think this is a desperation game for them. Like, they can't go down 0-3.
Yeah.
Especially against Jacksonville. So I like Houston to win. I thought their offense looked like a little bit better. In week 2. And then Jacksonville, they have a lot of talent on offense, but I think Brian Thomas Jr., I think he might be banged up because he hasn't looked the same. So I think that offense, as of right now, looks a little bit better on paper than it might be actually performing. Not to mention Houston's defense is legit.
Yep.
So in a desperation game, I like Houston.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think we basically kind of had the same notes. That everything you touched on, I have noted too. Trevor Lawrence just might not be him. What we saw from him at Clemson is a totally different
Sunshine?
version. Yeah, it's a totally different version of what we see now. And like how you touched on, Brian Thomas Jr., he does not want to make contact. When he's in the slot position, it looks like he doesn't even want to go for the ball. He's been dropping so many balls. He's having probably one of the worst sophomore slumps that we've seen because the drop-off is insane. Houston's defense will win them the game, but C.J. Stroud just hasn't been able to find his receivers. Outside of Nico Collins, I don't even know the other who is wide receiver 2 or 3 is.
Nobody stepped up.
Yeah, no.
So far,
and
they're really missing Tank Dell.
They are, bro. And that's a C.J. Stroud's boy. Like that's his boy. So but I got Houston to win too. I don't know if I even said that's who I have.
And
to
Jacksonville's actually favored.
They are, which I don't know. I mean, maybe because they're at home.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's secondary is. They are pretty good, but I just think if Houston, I mean the run game. I'm touching on the run game a lot right now. Or I think that's kind of like my trend that I'm going for this week.
Mm-hmm.
If Houston finds a way to get Nick Chubb going, I feel like they could find a way to win the game there.
And he's been also looking better as the game's go on as well, Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
All right, next game. This is going to be a crazy one. You got Denver Broncos playing the LA Chargers.
Chargers, bro, they look good, man. They look good. Justin Herbert, that whole team, Keenan Allen, bro, like everybody on the Chargers team. This is a 9-day difference from last season to this season. Harbaugh found a way to get the best version of his guys to get playing.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Chargers to win. Denver, bro, light the candles, bro.
Already?
What the fuck, bro? Like how you said, they barely lost to the Colts. Mm-hmm. They should have won. But like the drop off is insane. Like I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Who do you got? Well, what are your notes on this?
So I was struggling with this one,
mm-hmm.
but I think the Chargers, after the Packers, have had the two best performances.
Yep, we could say that. Yep.
So I wanted to pick Denver because I think Denver needs to win more.
They do.
And it's a divisional game.
They do.
And their defense hasn't played up to the expectations that people had for them.
Mm-mm.
So I think this game might be where, they kind of turn the corner and the defense starts picking it up. But I just have to go based off of what we've seen so far. And from what we've seen so far, the Chargers are clearly the better team.
Yep.
And they're at home, so I'm picking the Chargers.
Yeah.
But watch this be the game where Denver turns it around, bro. That's always how it goes. Like,
yeah, it's a divisional game. It's a divisional game.
It's crazy how, like, and we'll talk about this later on because this happens in Liga MX too, where it's like a team will show you, like, give you every reason to believe that they're a certain type of team, and then in one game they do the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And, just kind of change how you view them. But anyways, I like the Chargers. You got the Chargers too, right?
I got the Chargers too.
Do they cover 2.5 Chargers?
So last week, I had touched on the Cowboys covering the spread against the Giants, which they didn't. Again, when I picked for them not to cover, they covered the spread. When I picked for them to cover, they didn't cover the spread. Since it is a divisional game, and Denver's a divisional dog in this game, I got Denver to cover.
I'm not mad at that.
But my covers, as of lately, in our NFL picks, have not hit. So don't quote me.
Yeah, covers are harder than yeah. But next game, New Orleans at Seattle. Who you got?
I got Seahawks to win, bro. I mean,
yeah.
Outside of Juwan Jennings on this New Orleans offense, and outside of who's the wide receiver? I'm blanking right now.
For New Orleans?
Yeah, Chris Olave, and Alvin Kamara. I mean,
yeah,
it's a good offense, but Spencer Rattler, bro, like, he's not him.
Yeah, I like Seattle. They got a good defense. They're at home.
Yep.
And New Orleans are kind of like the Panthers, where it's like I haven't seen enough from them for me to pick them to win.
Yeah.
Next game, Dallas at Chicago. You want me to go first?
Go ahead. Take it away.
So I'm not gonna lie, I had Chicago at first because last week the Cowboys defense made Russell Wilson look like he's prime Mahomes, and it seems like everybody can just throw it around on them. Mm-hmm. And I think this is a desperation game for Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So I had picked Chicago, but then I started seeing that Jalen Johnson, Chicago's best corner, is doubtful.
Oh, shit.
And DeAndre Swift is questionable.
Okay.
So I think Chicago they're looking too banged up. I think Dallas is going to get Deron Bland back for this game. I had seen that he's probable.
Okay.
And so for those reasons, I'm taking Dallas.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Cowboys. What the fuck? Brandon Aubrey, our best player. Well, actually, no. Our second best player, because our best player right now has been Dak. Dak is having an MVP caliber season. He is probably going to finish in top 3 in the MVP voting this year. You could quote me on that because I'm going to have that right. Yeah, our secondary looked absolutely trash. I don't know how the fuck we had Russell Wilson looking like prime Russell Wilson. The total yards for that game versus the Giants almost reached 1,000 yards running.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like 900 something. Yeah, between Russell Wilson and Dak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a lot. But I didn't sweat the game because I was like, look, it's the Giants and it's Russell Wilson. Yeah. Bro, the whole time I was just like, Jesus Christ. Like, all right, let's keep it going. Like, Russell Wilson it's like I said, it's the Giants. And 2, Russell Wilson is going to find a way to fuck this game up. And he threw the interception. Brandon Aubrey, he don't miss. He got ice in his legs. But I do think we're going to clean things up this week. And I think the Cowboys are going to notch a win. Dak and CD. We didn't really see much of CD, but when we did see CD getting the ball last week against the Giants, CD's him, bro.
He is. I'm not sure if he's better than Malik Neighbors though. I'm not saying he's better.
Yeah.
But I'm like, is Malik Neighbors? You know what I mean? I feel like that's because the way he's playing, bro. He's like up there with amongst the elite NFL receivers right now.
Top 5, top 3 Malik Neighbors wide receiver right now, and it's sad to see that he's on a poor ass team like the Giants. But bro, he's him.
Yeah,
he's him.
It's like another Odell situation.
Exactly, and hopefully he doesn't waste his years with the Giants. But another one that I like, I love seeing him wearing that star on his helmet is George Pickens. Anytime we need, bro, just throw it his way, and the defense is gonna hold him. If he doesn't catch that ball, automatic penalty flag, bro.
I was so mad when we traded him because when they signed DK Metcalf at first, and I thought it was gonna be DK and George Pickens, and I was hyped. I was like, bro, like we're gonna have one of the better offenses in the league. And then when they traded him, I was like, there goes like what was gonna make our offense special, you know?
Yeah.
The question with him has never been his talent. It's just I don't think he's done this yet, but he'll have like, he just kind of loses the head sometimes and he gives up like dumb penalties and stuff like that. But he has the potential to be like one of the best receivers in the league.
His crash out moments are just not timed very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, I love having him on our team.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the best wide receiver duos in the league.
Yeah.
If not the best. We gotta dive deep into that, but I think they're up there with the best wide receiver duos in the NFL. Let us know who you guys got, but
he said it, not me.
All right, next game, Arizona at San Fran.
You want me to take that one?
Or I could go. It doesn't matter.
Let me go because I love a hate watch for the Niners.
You got the Cardinals?
I got Cardinals winning. Even though your boy Kyler Murray this week has not been the best PR week for him, wearing a Michael Vick jersey and posing with his two pit bulls.
Oh my god!
Did you see that?
I saw. I did see him wearing a Vick jersey, but I didn't pay attention to the dogs.
Bro, I think there was one where he's just like his back turned and it's like the Michael Vick jersey, and then another one where he's facing the camera and he has his 2 dogs with him, pit bulls.
Bruh, that's crazy. I feel like this is hard to believe, but it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of like, I think he forgot.
You think so? Because how old is he?
Yeah, because he's. I think he might be younger than us. So
not to expose our age, but
yeah. So like, I think he probably doesn't even like remember that was like a big, like the biggest story in the NFL at one point. But
he's 28 years old. He's our age. Oh, Jesus Christ. Not to put our age out there, but he has to remember. Ain't no way.
I mean, maybe he wasn't tapped into football like that at that point. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that he would do that on purpose, because that's like just like horrible like PR. You know what I mean?
And the person taking the picture, like, hey, bro, I don't think this is like a good look.
And he's not really like the type to be like making the news over like controversy. You know what I mean? So like it's kind of hard to believe that he isn't aware of that situation. But I don't know. That is crazy though. But in this game, I actually got the Cardinals winning too.
Okay.
Upset. I got, because San Fran is favored by 1.5.
Yeah.
And I actually think Kyler Murray's going to be the difference in this game, because even though Arizona is talented offensively, I think Kyler's going to make some plays with his legs, and he's just going to. I think it's going to be a close game, and I think he'll find a way to win, especially since San Fran's offense is still banged up.
Yeah.
Kittle's out. I think Brock Purdy is going to play, but he's coming back from that. Was it the toe? Yeah. So we'll see how he looks, because the Cardinals' defense is pretty good too.
Yeah.
But I do like Arizona to win as well.
And something to note too, they both played the Saints already. Arizona beat the Saints by 7. Niners beat the Saints by 5. It's kind of like a small thing to note, but overall, I think the Cardinals look better facing the Saints rather than the Niners. With the Niners and the Saints, I think the Saints kept it a little closer than what the Niners would have liked. But just with that small sample size, I think you could take the Cardinals to beat the 49ers with the upset. So,
all right, next game, Sunday Night Football. Chiefs are playing the Giants in New York. What you got?
I got the Chiefs, man. Come on.
Imagine they fall to 0-3.
That'd be crazy, bro.
To the Giants?
If Russell Wilson were to get that dub over them. But I think this is the last game he starts.
Really?
Because
he heard the noise, bro. There's no way. There's no way he balls like that out of nowhere. He knew his back was against the wall.
One thing that I did like that the Giants did is they incorporated. Is it Jackson or Jackson Dart? It's Jackson Dart, right? His name
for the Giants.
Yeah,
the QB. Yeah.
I like the way they incorporated Jackson Dart in some plays versus the Cowboys, which I think that surprised the Cowboys a lot, and that took us kind of off guard. So if they were to get that going this game against the Chiefs, that'll benefit them a lot and keep the game a lot closer than what we think it will. But I think this is the last game Russell Wilson starts, and after that, I'd like to see Jackson Dart being the main QB for the Giants. But I got the Chiefs winning.
It does kind of feel like it's not a matter of if, but when he starts. But, yeah, definitely got Kansas City beating New York. The offense looked way better, night and day. But Kansas City's one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah.
And to your point about them kind of throwing off their defense, Kansas City now has film on that. So it's not going to catch them by surprise this week, They still might have some success.
Yo!
They still might have some success, but I like Kansas City.
To finish?
But also, one thing I did note too, keep an eye out for Tyquan Thornton. He had a 49-yard touchdown reception last week. So if he can be a viable deep threat for this Kansas City team, and they can, hold off till Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy get back, I think Kansas City is going to be one of those teams where you're we've said at the beginning of the season, you can't count them out.
Yeah.
But this game, I'm genuinely excited for this Monday night game. You got Detroit at Baltimore. Arguably the two best offenses in the league.
Bro, the Lions surprised me. I didn't think they'd blow out the Bears that much, but it's we almost counted them out. And like how you said, I think the Lions heard the noise too, and they came out with the bang with the 50 bomb against the Bears, another division rival. But who do you got? Who do you got?
Picking Baltimore, bro.
Yeah.
It's my Super Bowl pick.
Mm-hmm.
They've already lost one game. So I think that was kind of like their wake-up call.
Yeah.
Like, we can't mess around. We got to, if we go up big, we got to put teams away.
Yeah.
And they did exactly that in week 2 against a good Cleveland defense.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit's defense obviously isn't as good as Cleveland's, but they do have a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's going to be one of those, maybe not like the Buffalo Bills game, but I think it is going to be a big back and forth game from two of both offenses are loaded. And they're one of the also most well-rounded offense because they can both run the ball really well and they have a lot of weapons in the passing game. I think the difference is that Lamar Jackson can run with the ball, so that adds another factor to their offense. Whereas Jared Goff, we know, even though he's a really good quarterback, that's not his game.
Yeah.
So I like Baltimore to win at home.
Yeah, I got Baltimore winning too. Jared Goff, when he plays outside, that's not his best
element.
Yeah, that's not his best element. His best element is stadium, close stadium games. But yeah, I got the Ravens. You kind of, everything you said, I agree on. I just don't. It'll be a close game though. The spread is -5. That's a crazy spread for two good offenses.
That's surprising. That's surprising to me that the Ravens are favored by that much.
Yeah, and then -240,
But I think I talked about this in the league, one of our Liga MX segments. But what I've noticed is that usually when you look at spreads or odds, and there's something that you question, why is it this? Why are they giving so much?
Yeah.
Usually you should bet against it.
Yeah.
Because it's happened to me a lot where I see something and I'm like, there's no way this is such a good value. And I feel like it almost never hits.
It negates your pick almost at a certain point.
Yeah, I think the Ravens might actually cover for that reason.
It'll be interesting to see. The way I do my picks, I don't even look at whose favorite is, spreads or anything. Right. I do that after we do our notes, just to kind of give our viewers an insight of who to bet on, who has the best value. But yeah, I don't tend to look at that because then, with the Cardinals, I thought it'd be -110, -105, and that's kind of what you see with the Cowboys and Bears. It's 110 and 115. But I mean, I don't know. Vegas might know something we don't, so
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm the same with looking at spreads and who's favored, unless it's I'm struggling a lot. I'm dang, this is close. Let me see who's favored,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our picks for week 3 of the NFL. Let's go from football to football with our Champions League match week 1 review. Is there any place you want to get started on?
I do want to mention one thing, and I'm sorry to all our viewers watching out there. Last week, I didn't throw in the parlays that we had.
Oh, that's right.
There was a parlay that included Napoli, which, kind of going ahead. Napoli ended up losing.
Mm-hmm.
But there was another one. It was a 5-leg parlay, and it hit. The odds that at the time that we would have gave were plus 1,600. By Tuesday when the game started, it was at plus 1,100, and it hit. So I'm sorry to all our viewers. I will try to make it up next week, and we'll try to cook something up. But
you had someone tail it and it hit for them, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I know somebody tailed and it hit. It hit for me as well too. So that's why I'm taking out my girl to brunch on Sunday.
Oh really?
She doesn't know yet, but.
Nice.
So let's start off with Arsenal and Athletic Club. I had the privilege to stay home and watch these games because I called out sick. So I got to kind of see the game. I guess I'll start it off real quick with this game. Even though Arsenal won 2-0, Athletic Club de Bilbao, they had a way better game than Arsenal up until Arteta made the changes and subbed on Martinelli, which obviously, as you know by now, Martinelli scored 35 seconds in, and he gave the assist to Trossard to seal it 2-0.
I like Trossard.
But Arsenal could not get nothing going. Eze and who's the other winger? Maduke. They could not get nothing going, bro. Like they just could not find nothing offensively. The midfield was looking very shaky. And I think if Nico Williams would have started, which he did, obviously didn't play this game, I think he would have gave Calafiori a lot of trouble, and maybe we could have seen Athletic Club either tie this game or win it. But Arteta did the right changes just to give Arsenal the dub.
I feel like this Arsenal team, the way they started this game, looks a lot different than the team from last season that had that the deep Champions League run. So I think they're a deeper team, but yeah, I don't see them as like a legit contender for Champions League. I don't think they'll make it as far as they did last season.
Yeah, and I mean, no Saka.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is the best version of Arsenal that we could get.
Yeah, no.
I think Arteta ball just sometimes doesn't excite me. It's sometimes very park the bus, counterattack. And with Saka playing, he could take down the wing and find something and counterattack the teams very well. But just, I don't know, it's not attractive soccer to me. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see as the season progresses for Champions League. But I don't know, man.
I think Arsenal just doesn't have like the same talent as like the best teams.
Yeah.
Like I think they have really good players, but like even like Saka, I don't think he's like as good as like Lamine Yamal or like Salah. You know what I mean? He's not like up amongst the like the elites, like the best of the best. And I think probably their center back, Saliba, he's probably like the only one I think that's like top 2-3 in his position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's gonna be tough for them. And I know you touched on Arteta, but really just this whole Arsenal team, I feel like everybody's kind of been waiting for them to take that next step. You know, like I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago when they finished second, and it's like, oh, you know, they're gonna win Champions League like either next year or the following. But Liverpool just kind of came in and like swooped and kind of changed the expectations. But we'll see. I mean, they're still a talented team for sure, but I think it's gonna be tough for them to kind of duplicate the same success that they had last year in Champions League.
Yeah. Moving on, what other game do you want to cover? And these banger games. The 3 days, we're getting spoiled. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I think last year was just Tuesday and Wednesday. But what other...
I do like that there's 3 days. That was cool.
Bro, that's too much soccer.
This format is... I do enjoy it more than the previous one. We can talk Madrid if you want.
So another one that I got to watch, 2 PKs from Mbappe. That second PK, I know there's been some controversy of like how that second PK shouldn't have counted. The letter of the law states if you use one hand to break your fall and that hand touches the ball, it's not a PK. But for the defender that slid, he already had a hand on the floor to break his fall. And then the ball bounced and hit his other hand that was up in the air. And it kind of sucked that was called a PK. I don't think it should have been called a PK, but that ultimately got Real Madrid the dub. A few takeaways. Trent got injured 5 minutes in. Carvajal came in. He subbed in for him. Gets a red card. So with 10 men down, Real Madrid find a way to win.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to say that, like, you know, the whole VAR Madrid when they were playing with one less. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And then this past weekend, they won. They beat Real Sociedad too with only 10 men on the field as well. Yeah. Somebody that I do want to talk about is Mastantuono. He didn't look up to par to me.
Really?
Yeah. And I say that because every time I would see him get the ball, I don't know, he kind of, we touched on this too with like some players that do this. When he didn't know when to attack, it was just pass the ball back. And then he got a clear chance in front of goal, and he didn't put it away. And I would have much rather have watched Vinny start over him in that position. And then, as you could see, when Vinny came in, he made like the total difference as soon as he stepped onto the field. But yeah, what were you gonna say about Mastantuono?
I was actually gonna say I was impressed by him, by Mastantuono.
And I've seen some people are impressed, and I see some other people are like.
I think he's still very raw.
Yeah.
So he has flashes where you see the potential, you see how talented he is, but there is a lot of times where he kind of loses the ball a little bit like clumsily, or like makes a bad decision. Silly mistake or a bad decision. So I think but it was his first Champions League start.
Yeah.
And I think he is Real Madrid's youngest player to start in the Champions League.
Yep.
So he's only 18. And I think that's kind of part of it. Like, he's still going to be raw. He's still, learning, first of all, how to play with these players, but also that just going forward, he's going to make better decisions. You know? But I think at his best, he showed, like, really good. Like, that run that he made, it was very impressive. I think he's going to be, like, I think he's like a Ballon d'Or potential, like he could win the Ballon d'Or one day. I think he's that good. The only thing I will say though is I think he does, like, he's a very technical player, but out on the wing I think he does kind of lack pace that some of like the top wingers do. So it's going to be interesting to see if they keep playing him there, because he kind of reminds me a little bit of James Rodriguez, like later on in his career, where it's like that inverted winger lefty playing on the right. But we'll see if they keep him as a winger, or if they kind of start playing him behind the number 9.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because I was going to tell you that I tried not to be too critical of him, because one, his age. It was his first Champions League start at only 18 years old. 2, they had him out on the wing, where to me, like how you said exactly, he's more of a 10. He's more of a James Rodriguez behind the 9. And I think Xabi Alonso is still trying to find the best position for his players. He's still trying to find where to organize everybody. I think he's still trying to find the format of how to line this team up. Yeah. But I think we'll get the best version of him as a 10.
Yeah, and I do kind of like him in that inverted winger role. But the problem is and Real Madrid already had this problem before they signed him. They have a lot of wingers, like Vinny and Mbappe basically both play left wing, and they've been playing Mbappe as a 9, but I still think he's also more of like a winger too. Yeah. So it is Xabi Alonso does have like that good problem to have of like he has so many players, but how do you put them all in the 11? We'll see if Rodrigo's rumored to leave, so
he could be a good fit at Arsenal. He'd give him a spark that.
They could really use him.
Yeah. One thing to note. I did not know that Martial had Aubameyang, Tim Weah, and Mason Greenwood. That attacking 3 was very dangerous, bro.
Tim Weah with the goal?
Bro.
I like him. He's one of my favorite U.S. men's national teams player.
What team was he with? He was just with
Juventus?
Juve. I'm still trying to see it.
It's because I think what doesn't help him is like, he's a versatile player, but I think that's almost to a fault, because I don't see him having like a clear defined position. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you'll see him on the left, on the right. Is he a 9, Yeah. But I think I like his game.
The way he's playing right now with Martial, the team, is it? Marseille. I like that link up between them 3.
Yeah.
It's not unfortunate, but the stuff with Mason Greenwood, it is what it is.
He's a good player.
The way he like fainted to give Tim Weah that open space to run in, and then he gave him that assist. Yeah, bro, that was top class. And no French team had ever won at the Bernabeu. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, Not even PSG. I don't think. I mean, you guys could not quote me on that, but I think that's what I had seen. That no French team had ever won at the Bernabeu, and that was one of the teams. Two of the teams that we covered already were on the parlay.
Speaking of PSG, bro, they could have scored 6 or 7.
Bro, and no Dembele.
Yeah, they're. If it wasn't for Liverpool getting that much better, PSG would have been my favorite. But PSG, like, they haven't missed a beat. Like, maybe if Chelsea hadn't have beat them, we would still be thinking of, like, PSG as the number one team.
Top notch.
You know what I mean? But, yeah, no, what'd you think of PSG?
Bro, Kvaratskhelia, Bruno Mendes, bro, like, that team top to bottom, bro.
Yeah, they're stacked.
They got me. It is a stacked team, bro.
Just their, like, you could tell Luis Enrique has done a really good job, too, because they're relentless. Yeah. Like, even without the ball, like, they all press.
Yeah.
They were up big, and they just wanted it, like, they wanted to score 7 goals on them, bro. And they could have. Yeah. They missed a PK, and then I think it was, like, 2 disallowed goals. But, so, yeah, PSG definitely one of the front runners for Champions League this year.
Yep. Now, moving on to one game that I do want to tap into real quick. Juve versus Dortmund.
Bro, that was my game of the week.
I was going to say that was one of the 2 games of the weeks for me. 4-4 tie. Yildiz with a banger outside of the 18. Top bins.
I literally wrote young talent was very impressive. Bangers throughout the game.
Bro, it was. And then I was kind of like, just checking the scores as soon as the Real Madrid scored the second PK. And then I saw it was like the 87th minute. And it was 4-2. And I was like, damn, what the fuck? Dortmund's going to win this game. Juve scores 2 goals in the 94th and the 96th minute, bro. Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, no, that game was definitely, I think, the most entertaining game of this Champions League game week. I did also like Karim Adeyemi for Borussia. He's the one that scored that first goal. But I was impressed with the talent on both of these teams because we didn't really talk about them. I don't think they're like favorites by any means to win, but they're definitely, both of these teams have impressive young talent.
Yeah, Dortmund always in Champions League games, bro. They always seem to impress, no matter who they're matched up against. They're always a candidate.
They're gonna show you something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're gonna impress you.
It's like
in some way.
It's like Mexican boxing. They just go toe to toe. Por los putazos.
What about Barca? What'd you think about my Barca?
Bro, they look good in that the Saint what's that name of that stadium? St. James Park, bro. Those fucking Newcastle fans had that stadium jumping. That atmosphere looked crazy. Yeah. Anytime a defender would fucking knock the ball out for a fucking throw-in, bro, you could just see their fans fucking like, yeah, motherfucker. Like, bro, like it was cool. Like, it was just Champions League vibes to the top. Rashford though with the brace, 2 bangers. That second banger outside the 18. Bro, I just think that fool just shot it just to shoot it, and it went in. But damn, that shit looked clean.
Yeah, I was really impressed, and he has me optimistic about Barca's season even more because, well, not just him, but as far as like our rotational players, because once Lamine is back, I highly doubt Rashford will start.
Yeah,
and then we have him, Dani Olmo coming off the bench. Fermin coming off the bench, who stepped up. He scored a couple goals in the league this weekend. So I really like Barca. I just think the difference between them and like PSG and Liverpool is Barca still, I think they get tested defensively too much because they play a very high line. So whenever they play with teams with a lot of pace up top, all they need is like one good ball, from behind, and if they don't play that offside trap well, it could get bad for Barca because they play very aggressive, like a very aggressive style that against the top teams you have to look out for that.
Yeah, Pedri though, man, with another masterclass performance, bro. He's Ballon d'Or candidate if Barca somehow finds a way to win a title this season.
And then. Well, for next year, it's a World Cup year. So
if they win the...
If Spain...
I think they'd give it to
Lamine. But the thing that isn't helping him is he's missing game right now.
Groin injury?
But I'm saying, like, usually, like, I feel like a lot of the times when they give... I guess this is more of, like, an NBA thing. But you know how with MVP, if, like, a star player is missing, like, his second best player, they're missing somebody on their team, they use that as a big selling point. Like, oh, you know. But we'll see. I mean...
It's only a matter of time before one of them wins.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, do you want to move on to Liverpool and Atletico Madrid?
Yes, sir.
What a game.
Liverpool's making us look good.
Bro, they are. And they almost chalked it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
Yeah.
But 5 games in a row, finding a way to score a goal in the past 80th minute. Van Dijk. Classic Van Dijk, bro.
Best center back I've ever seen.
He's, I think, probably the best center back right now. Salah put a masterclass performance. His first touch, his decision making, bro. He does not look like he has lost a step at all. He looks faster to me for some reason.
He might be underrated at this point.
I think so, bro. I think so, because not too many people are talking about him like that. Like, I think people seem to forget who he is, bro. And I think he's gotten us too comfortable with him putting up these type of performances. Like, it's, that's normal. Yeah, that's normal. But bro, it's not normal, bro. This fool is going off. Gavin Branch, is that how you say his name?
Gravenberg?
Midfield tactician, bro.
Their whole team, you could just go down the line. Their whole team is just filled with players that you're just like...
It was Isak's first game for Liverpool. He didn't look that sharp. And then when Ekitike went in, I feel like he could have scored. Salah missed one in front of goal. It could have been 3-1 at that point. But then Laurent went on and he scored the
toe poke?
Bro, the banger that he scored, though, the second goal. Salah's toe poke, that was a good ball. Gavin Branch gave him that ball. What was I going to say? Ekitike, when he came in a little sloppy, though, which I would like to see him kind of put the chances away when he gets them. But that rotation between Ekitike and Isak, bro.
That's crazy.
I mean, top to bottom, I think you could put it in right now that Liverpool, I don't see who else wins. Yeah,
I think the only way I see them losing in the Champions League is we talked about how them finding a way to win is a good thing, which it is, but I think they also kind of put themselves in situations where they let teams come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think later on in the knockout phases, if that becomes a pattern, it might come back to bite them, where they kind of have that bad habit of not putting teams away. I could see like the opposite happening, where they have a lead and then they give it up and then they don't. Their kind of ability to pull out wins, diminishes as the season goes on. That's pretty much like the only way I see them losing.
And they need to find a way to put these teams away once they get the lead.
And they're still, like, we've talked about how a lot of the pieces are new, so I think that's part of it too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, Liverpool definitely did not disappoint. Another team that didn't disappoint was Bayern. I thought they looked really good. They could have scored 5 on Chelsea.
Bro, that Bayern attack with Kane, Olise.
I really like Olise.
And Gnabry, bro.
And Luis Diaz. Yeah.
I think
he missed a sitter too.
Yeah,
that's one of the ones that could. That's why I say Bayern could have scored 5, because he missed one, and I think Kane had another good shot.
Yeah,
basically where he was 1-on-1. But Bayern looked good. Shout out Cole Palmer. He's a baller, bro.
Bro, he is, bro. He's
one of those players that doesn't play with like a conscience.
Yeah,
like there was one player in particular where he drops down to receive the ball in his own half, and then the defender kind of sizes him up, and then he just nutmegs him. Like, bro, he's raw.
Yeah, he is. Who else do you want to go? Oh, should we, real quick, Man City versus Napoli. I wanted to have Napoli win this game, but unfortunately, Napoli get a red 20 minutes in, and then they sub off De Bruyne, a tactical decision. So he came off, and I think if we would have had the full 11 versus 11, I think Napoli could have ended up winning this game. But Man City were able to get the result 2-0. And then from there on, we could top this off by going over Copenhagen.
Wait, real quick. I just want to add to about that Man City thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, at least I didn't mention them in our last video where we talked about Champions League. But I think Man City, I think they could, I wouldn't be shocked if they're up there in the Champions League and maybe, I don't think they're probably like top 5 in there, but I know I didn't mention them, and I definitely see them as a contending team for the Champions League because Rodri's back, Foden's back, so that team's starting to look a lot more similar to that Champions League team that won a couple years ago, and they have newer players like Rangers, I think his name is.
Rangers,
the Dutch guy
from AC Milan.
And bro, Haaland, he's still scoring goals, bro. He's a machine. So keep an eye out for Man City going forward.
And I know I didn't bring them up, but I had Man City flopping.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I kind of felt that way too, but I think what it was is like they haven't looked good because they had so many new players.
Yeah.
But now that they're getting their core players back, I think those new players are going to be complementary players as opposed to like, you know, relying on them to kind of carry them. So I think you still think they'll be a flop team? With
Rodri back, he was like their main engine seasons prior. I still think he doesn't look the same. He's missing a step, but he's like a step behind from what he was, from what he showed us from that Ballon d'Or winning season. But I don't know. I something about them just doesn't have me really high on them. Which, you know, we have their jerseys back there.
Now we can go to the
Copenhagen versus Bayern Leverkusen. So watching this game, I was watching it as a proud older cousin, watching the only Huescas, Cruz Azul Cantera. Bro, he was one of the better players for that Copenhagen team. He gave off an assist. And not to mention, today was his birthday. He turned 22 years old today. So Mexico Independence Day 2 days ago.
I'm glad he's already in Europe.
Bro, he's one of those players that I'm glad, even though he went behind Cruz Azul's back to get to Europe, I'm still glad he made that jump. He is showing everybody you need to take that leap no matter what happens. No matter if the team doesn't want to let you go, you have to do what's best for you and make that jump to Europe, because look at him, bro, thriving.
As long as it's a good fit, though.
Yeah, as long as it's a good fit. At first, it was looking kind of shaky when he first got there, but he seemed to fit that style of play very well. And one thing about Huescas, bro, his off-the-ball movement is fucking insane. His IQ off the ball and the way he tracks back. If you were to see his heat map, bro, it'd be on that right flank, bro, top to bottom, red everywhere. His fucking how do you say it? Like, he does not get tired. You just see him running all the time. He had one shot to goal too, which would have had me even more hyped if he would have scored that. But it's kind of unfortunate that Bayern Leverkusen were able to tie it in the last minute with the own goal. But the first Bayern Leverkusen's goal off of the free kick from Gamaldo, bro, top biz, bro. That was a crazy ass goal.
Yeah, that was a good game. Going back to the Huescas thing, I think his emergence is like perfect timing leading up to World Cup.
Yep.
And we talked about it in our last video, where if Mexico play 5 in the back, it'd be perfect for him in that right wing back role, like, you know, going forward and giving those good balls to hopefully Raul and Santi, how we talked about. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to continue watching them as the season goes on.
Yep.
And speaking of Huescas and Mexico, let's switch over to Liga MX. You want to start off? Who's your first game for this week?
Yep.
Who do you got?
So Liga MX Jornada 9, Necaxa versus Puebla. Is that who you got too?
Yeah, we could start with that one.
So, no Cambindo for Necaxa. Puebla, just some quick stats real quick off the top. Puebla hasn't beaten Necaxa since October 2023. And Puebla's only win this season came off of Santos in the Jornada 3. I hate these, like, when shitter teams go up against each other on Fridays. It's like anything can happen.
There is 4 games on Friday though.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It's gonna be. I kind of like it, but we'll see.
Yeah, Viernes Montanero, like how we say.
Bro, it's a Viernes freaking feast this week.
Bro, and these Friday games, I like the Friday games though, because like anything can happen on these Friday games. Anything can happen. It's exciting to watch. It's a good way to start off your weekend.
I've noticed they're kind of smart with it too. They usually don't put like the top teams on Fridays.
Yeah.
They usually kind of like save those teams for like Saturday and Sunday when there's going to be more than likely more people watching.
They like tease you going into Saturday.
Yeah. But for this game, who do you got?
I got Necaxa winning though. Okay. I think Necaxa is due for a win. Puebla.
They're due for a win too, but they just haven't shown
they haven't shown anything. Who do you got? You got.
I got Necaxa winning too. Yeah, they just Puebla's like the Panthers. Like I gotta see more. I gotta see more before I pick them. Next game, Cruz Azul versus Juarez.
Take it away.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I got Cruz Azul. They're the only undefeated team left in the league. Mm-hmm. They're on a 6-game win streak in Liga MX. They're coming off an impressive win where they basically played a whole half with one less against Pachuca. And they actually ended up playing with one more when the game ended.
Yeah.
But even when they had one less, Pachuca couldn't really get anything going, which proves that, they're a solid defensive team. I think they've really picked it up. And I do like Juarez, but I just think Cruz Azul is riding a high, especially off that big win last week. So I got them winning at home against Juarez.
All right. I'm probably surprised everybody listening to this right now. What goes up must come down. I still have Cruz Azul winning.
Oh.
But
I was like, I thought you were going to say tie after what goes up must come down.
Nah, but the reason why I say that is because Cruz Azul has done this to me time and time again. We always look good. We look better than what we did last season with Vicente Sanchez. I'm not saying I'm convinced. I just need to see a little bit more. I'm being very nitpicky with my Cruz Azul teams as of lately. I'm not ready for that heartbreak. They'll tease.
So you know it's coming?
Yeah, I'm preparing for it.
For the heartbreak?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm gonna be very critical of Cruz Azul moving forward, just because, like I said, they always do this to me. We have a bad relationship, me and them, where I'm like, fuck yeah, we're gonna win this. We're gonna win the league.
Well, their color is fitting because they just always blue ball.
Exactly. And I don't know, man. I mean, that game with Pachuca, it was an ugly game. The PK, I don't know if it should have been a PK. Nacho Rivero, this is the second time that fool gets decked in the head like that. That fool got decked in the head like that one time against the Xolos. Chiquito Rosco always does some tronco ass shit to get himself a red card. And this was one of those prime examples.
That play was similar to the PK though, because in both instances, the players make contact with the ball first, and then they make impact with the player.
Yeah.
But I think it was the tackles they had so much force behind them that they kind of had to make those calls. So both teams benefited from that similar type of call,
Yeah, and I just, if Chiquito Rosco would have never got a red card for that tackle, the PK would have never happened. So it's like it would have benefited Pachuca in the end, but I don't know. This Cruz Azul is not gonna win decisively against Juarez, like how I previewed Juarez in our first couple videos. They are a good, solid team. They are a sleeper team that you have to look out for. We are gonna see though 2 goalkeepers have masterclass performances, Mier and Jurado. Jurado, who used to be on that Cruz Azul squad. When he plays against us, bro, he always has his revenge games against us, and he plays top notch. So as to why I think it's going to be an ugly game, we might have Angel Sepúlveda back, but I think we barely win by 1 goal. And I'm not surprised if somehow Juarez ends up tying this game.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't be surprised with the tie either. But yeah, okay. I mess with it. What about Mazatlan versus Atlas?
Another 2 shitter teams on a Friday. Mazatlan basically own Atlas, so over a head-to-head, Mazatlan has 6 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses to them. Mazatlan at home is difficult, but I got a tie with Atlas's head coach. What's his name again? Coca. They have been able to find offensive rhythm, but defensively they're not well off. Which I think possibly maybe 1-1, 0-0 draw. But who do you got?
I actually got Atlas winning. I did note that Mazatlan has won 3 of the last 5 Liga MX matchups between these 2 teams. So I'm not confident in this pick. But I just think Atlas is ascending.
Yeah.
Like they've been getting better week by week.
Yep.
And I think Mazatlan is actually getting a little bit worse because up until last week, they were giving everybody a tough game. They had played the top teams and they would hold them to a goal, sometimes even tying. But they're coming off their worst defeat of the season to Pumas.
And they let JJ Macias score on them, bro.
Yeah, well, I was gonna shout him out in the Pumas video, Pumas when we talk about Pumas. But yeah, I think Atlas is due for a win, and I do like them to win. One interesting stat is that last week Toluca was the only team that won at home, and 4 teams won away from home last week. So I think this week we're going to see more home teams win. But I think Atlas is one of the few teams that's going to win. I think they're actually the only team that I have winning away from home, which now that I think about it, maybe isn't the best idea because it's Atlas. But
yeah,
that's how I got my pick so far. But yeah, I got Atlas beating Mazatlan.
Okay. Which, that's funny that you note that because remember a couple weeks ago, I think it was maybe Jornada 6 in our first couple videos, Monterrey and Cruz Azul were the only 2 home teams that had won. So maybe go with the away teams for one of these weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on that. Yeah. And then last game on Friday, Tijuana versus Leon. Mid off?
It is a mid off, but I will say Xolos have only lost 1 game this season, and it's been to America. Which, okay, good for them. And Xolos have a trend going on where it's win, tie, win, tie. They're coming off of a tie. Even though I think they're at home.
But the trend ends?
The trend ends right here. It's going to go back to a tie.
I agree. I got a tie too.
You got a tie too? Which we kind of nailed that one on the head last week with San Luis and Tijuana tie. I don't know, man. This is a mid-off. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see what the result is at the end.
Yeah, we've said it all season. Tijuana's tough to beat at home. But do you know if Gil Mora's playing? Because he's going to go to the World Cup.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And I
tried looking into it, but I don't think
I think they're still going to play.
This week?
Yeah, and I thought he wasn't going to be there last week. And he comes off the bench and he gives an assist to get Xolos the tie. But yeah, I'm not sure. But Gil Mora, bro,
I still got Leon tying with or without him.
Yeah,
because I think Leon is actually I think they're still figuring it out, but I think they have talent on that team, so you can't just count them out, even though Tijuana is at home. All right, so next game, I got Pachuca versus Querétaro.
Bro.
Do they shock the world?
Querétaro?
Yeah.
They gave Monterrey a run for their money, bro. And they always seem to do this, though. They always seem to, like, each season kind of give you a spark of what they can be. They got USA money backing them now. So I think one more season we'll see the best version of them. Maybe 2 more seasons we'll see the best version of them. But I got Pachuca winning, even though I don't know, bro. Jimmy Lozano, dog. You have to find a way to get your team going. Find a different formation. Jordan Cadiz, maybe bench him. They're forward. I don't like him. I was high on him when he was with Leon, but with Pachuca, bro, he just disgusts me. Two red cards for Pachuca last game. Pachuca should have got the tie versus Cruz Azul, but I think Pachuca would just find a way to getting a dub versus Querétaro.
Querétaro, another one of those teams I need to see more before I pick them. I got Pachuca winning too. I do want to give a shout out to Idrissi. He's one of the best wingers in the league. I really like his game. And I like Pachuca to beat Querétaro.
Yeah.
Next game, Pumas versus Tigres.
This is a good game, bro. A good game for both of these teams to really prove themselves this far into the season.
Real quick, one game we didn't get to cover because it was in the middle of the week. Chivas and Tigres. They played yesterday. We didn't get to give our predictions for that, but it was a 0-0 tie. So we'll see.
When did it start? I saw that.
Bro, it started like crazy. An hour and a half, 2 hours after the initial start time. Yeah, 0-0. Oh, but continue. Sorry.
Taking it away. Tigres basically owns Pumas. 21 wins all time, 11 draws, and only 8 losses to Pumas. I think Pumas is finding the rhythm. We saw that last week with the Mazatlan 4-1 dub that they got. J.J. Macias scoring last game, which, Jesus Christ, what is this, 2019? I just don't, I don't know. Pumas, I feel like, is another team that when you're really high on them, they find a way to disappoint. And I think Tigres is going to end up winning this game. Who you got?
I wouldn't be surprised, but I did factor in the fact that because Tigres played midway through the week, that fatigue might play a factor. Even though they're one of the more deeper teams in the league. I agree with you that Pumas is finding their rhythm. And I think I said it last week. They create a lot of chances. I like how they play. They just need a goal scorer. So if, and this is a big if, but if J.J. Macias can be somewhat of a decent goal scorer, or El Memote.
He had a good game.
Yeah. Then I think Pumas can be a dark horse team.
That Liguilla with...
Yeah.
Ah, man.
It's going to be a good one, bro.
It's going to be a good one.
Because I wasn't even really thinking about Pumas, but over the last couple of games, they've been playing very entertaining football, and they've been, creating a lot of chances. So if they can get... I mean, maybe not even their goals don't obviously have to come from a number 9, but if they can find like a reliable goal scorer, or if they do it by kind of like a committee, then I think Pumas is a dark horse team for the title.
Well, their reliable goal scorer and their top goal scorer this season right now is Jorge Rubalcaba.
He's good.
So
he's good, but we'll see. We'll see. I think if he can keep it up, for sure. But I think I see him more as like a skillful winger. You know what I mean? He's not. I don't know if he has that to his game where he's going to be like a reliable goal scorer. You know what I mean? Yeah. He has a lot of potential, though. I do like his game. Next game, Chivas versus Toluca.
I want to give you a shout out because you did call it that Chivas will get 4 points in this gauntlet that they were thrown in for the past 4 games. They have gotten those 4 points. Do you think they win against Toluca? Take it away.
I don't think they win, but I think they tie.
Okay. I'm not mad at it. Because
against Tigres midweek. Well, all right. I'll go back. I'll go back and talk about the Clásico.
Yeah, talk about it.
Since I was very confident that America was going to win, I kind of like to pride myself on not being biased.
Mm-hmm.
So I will admit that Chivas deserved to beat America. I think that a lot of credit needs to go to Milito for that win because he changed how they were playing, and it seemed like he came out with the clear game plan of, I'm not going to be too aggressive. I'm going to let the counter-attacking team, America, have the initiative, and then I'm going to counterattack them.
Yeah.
And they executed it very well, and it worked out for them. So I got to give a lot of credit to Milito for getting the win against America. And one interesting thing that he did, like, I think it was like, I don't want to say masterclass because it wasn't like Chivas were creating like all these chances.
Yeah.
And I think they did, even though they deserved to win. I don't mean to say this as an excuse. The game changed when Fidalgo left the game at halftime. But one interesting thing that he did, and I would like to see Mexico do this, is he played a 5-3-2. And he basically played Cade Cowell to give them that like pace up top to counterattack. Yeah. He started also Gonzalez, who hadn't been starting, to give them more stability in that midfield, while also having that, because he's more defensive than offensive, also Gonzalez. Yeah. But he played Alvarez in the midfield defensively, but when they got the ball, he would almost kind of drift out and play as like as a winger. And they also would leave those three up there when America would have like a goal kick. So they kind of, I think they were trying to get America to not play out of the back. Yeah. But if they did, they were waiting for them in that low block, which I think was, obviously it worked out for them. Yeah. And then just to round out the Clásico thing, I think Jardine didn't respect Chivas. Yeah. And it came back to bite him. Yeah. Because I didn't like the change at halftime. I consider myself a Brian Rodriguez fan, but I think it wasn't a good move to put him in for Fidalgo and have Maxi, Zendejas as a 10, who we've seen there before, but even though that's not his best position. Brian on the right, who we haven't seen in that position with America. He does it for Uruguay, but not with America. And then Aguirre up top, leaving Reyes and El Chiquito as your two holding midfielders in a back four. I think that was way too aggressive. And to start the second half, that's when you saw Chivas be the better team. In the first half, I didn't think they really showed much at all. But in that second half, once Fidalgo left, you kind of saw how important he is to America. Yeah. Because Chivas started to have more of the possession. They started creating chances. Yeah. And ultimately, we saw what I think is the formula for success for Chivas, which is defend well and let your best players, Piojo and Alvarez, do their thing. In that first goal, they had that 1-2. They played it out wide to Guti. Guti had that good cross, and Piojo finished it. So I think they need more of that. Just let those two players, and that's what they did with that formation. Because if you have a 5-3-2, you're basically just kind of relying on those two guys to give you that offensive production. Because they didn't have Mozo, who's more of an aggressive wing back. So it was basically just them two. So I think that would be a good formula for Mexico as well. And then have Huescas as a wing back. Yeah. But again, I'm gonna give credit to Chivas. They deserve to win.
I'm not gonna lie, this was a good. I like the way Chivas is playing that 5-3-2. One thing I do want to know, where I think that America probably didn't respect Chivas, was that Chivas' best attribute as a team is their defense. Campillo, to me, shows reflections of a Johan Vasquez. On the ball and defending. His man-to-man marking is top-notch. Another shout-out that I want to give is to Miguel Gomez, Alan Mozo's replacement. Him and Campillo were locking up Maximin. They were not letting Maximin do much.
Not the first half.
Not the first half, but
the first half he was making them look silly, bro.
He was. And then after that, I think they kind of locked in, and then they put that fool in their pocket because you didn't really see much after that. But I think that has to do with Fidalgo leaving the field.
And also, they've said Maxi is like since he wasn't really playing much, he's still picking up his he's not in shape as of now. But they did look good in the second half. Also, another thing too to shout out, La
Hormiga, bro.
I think he might be the 9 they're looking for because that second goal was very impressive. And when you look up the stats, he's actually one of the league leaders in goals so far for the league.
He has 4 goals, and he's, I think, Chivas' top goal scorer. I just don't see how you play him in that 5-3-2. I think he's more of a sole forward striker. So
I think if you can't play him with Cade, Piojo. You can't play him with those two. But if you have him and then Piojo behind him as a second striker, I could see how that would work.
Yeah, or even Efra. Which Efra, going back to the Tigres game real quick, he fucking missed the PK.
Yeah.
My Prietito, no.
So, yeah.
One thing for Piojo that pissed me off, I hated the fact that he kissed the badge when he scored on America. Bro, you know where your heart is. You know where your heart lays. You know.
Necaxa?
Right here, baby. Cruz Azul. Bro, when he kissed the bat, I saw the replay or whatever. And
I think he might have gotten hyped off the moment, maybe. You know, it's a
and
Clásico.
he hates America. I know he hates America because he scored on them. He shitted on America before when he was with Cruz Azul. So, yeah.
Was he in that final that they lost to in 2018?
Yeah.
That's probably
why. Yeah. But, I mean, that shit pissed me off. But, yeah, I mean, I have to look at winning, though. I just think what must go up must come down. But after this, it's an easy schedule for Chivas. I think they will be fighting for a play-in, if not a solidified spot in the Liga.
They're already 11th.
Is it 11th?
Yeah, they moved up to 11th because
of the tie.
The tie and the win.
Okay.
Because they were a game behind, but that's why they played midweek.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just think once they lose this game, after this it's gonna be easy pickings for them. But yeah, no, Chivas is a team to be reckoned with come Liguilla time because I think they're gonna find their best formation going into Liguilla, which is when you need to find your best rhythm and your best soccer as a team overall.
It sucks for them that as they're picking up their form, Piojo gets hurt. So
bro, my type of ankle injury, bro.
Chin ankle?
Hell yeah.
So I definitely don't like that. You know, he's gonna be out, but I still think Chivas finds a way to tie against Toluca. Because Chivas should have beat Tigres. You talked about the PK that they missed, and they also had more chances to score. So I like Chivas to tie. I don't think they're gonna all of a sudden become like this juggernaut team, but I do think they're bound to make Liga. Next game, Monterrey versus America. Who you got?
Game of the week?
I think so. Yeah.
I got Monterrey, bro. I mean, I just don't see how you guys beat America. I'm just kidding. I was like, wait, you don't do the best? I don't see how you guys I don't see how America beats Monterrey, bro. How do you guys beat them?
That's a good question. Next question.
Who do you got?
Honestly, I hate doing this, but I actually have Monterrey winning too.
Okay.
Because
that's fair.
No Fidalgo. I didn't like how the team looked without him. Like America not having him highlights how important he is to the team. He does like all the little things and he keeps them organized, but he also kind of is like that driving force and that player that kind of breaks the lines and helps the team transition from defense to offense.
Yep.
So I didn't like what I saw. I think we might have to see Jonathan Dos Santos starting because he's more of like that kind of organizer, pass the ball. So maybe I think how they beat Monterrey though is with their amplitude, like their out wide because Monterrey, they have Ocampos and Tecatito usually on the wings. So I think you have to be aggressive. Like America I think they have to play 5 in the back and have aggressive wing backs that are going to make Monterrey's wingers have to track back and, try and create 2v1s on the outside and try and limit Monterrey's time of possession because America, I feel like if they don't have Cáceres, who I think is going to be available to play.
He's always injured.
But I think Cáceres is our best defensive player. I think without him, it gets very shaky because Reyes, I think, is a good player, but he doesn't have the best marca.
No, he doesn't.
And Lichnowsky, I think, is more of like an aerial center back. So I think they need to play 3 in the back and then have either Kevin or Dagoberto on the right. I think either of them will do well because I think... But that's the thing. They need to play 5 in the back because in a back 4, I don't really like either of them.
I like Dagoberto over Kevin, though. That was a dog. And he's super young.
Yeah, so we'll see. And then I don't think... I had said that I wanted to see Maxi, Brian, and Zendejas together. But if they do that, I don't think they can play with another number 9.
So no Pantera?
I think he's more of a rotational player right now. And I think Henry is... I've never been the biggest Henry fan. Of his game. I like what he's done. I like his production. But as far as like his skill set, I'm not the biggest fan of. And Aguirre hasn't really responded either.
He hasn't. This season, no.
So I think I'd like to see those 3 up top. It'd be interesting to see who they play as the 9. But I think that's the key to success for America. But I think I just don't see it. So I'm picking with my brain, not my heart. I think Monterrey is going to beat them.
One thing to note, though, and it's kind of taking it back to the Chivas game, like how you kind of touched on. I think America, where they kind of bit themselves in the ass, was not filling in the midfield role. You guys didn't do a midfield signing.
Your boy.
Gutierrez, but that was not like a solidified center midfielder. And you guys are relying on Jonathan Dos Santos, who's on his last legs, bro. Like, legit last legs. You guys... He's probably, like, no thread on his tires anymore. Like, he's barely holding on. And I think you guys are going to see that with these 2 games. The Chivas game and the Monterrey game are going to reflect that a lot, that you guys lack that midfield. And I can't wait till you guys play Cruz Azul because Paradela is going to just shit on you guys in the midfield right there.
We'll see.
But I think if America wants to make this game interesting, they have to play the counterattack. They have to let, like how you said, their best attributes right now are the wings, and they just have to let Monterrey attack them, and they have to sit back, park the bus, and they have to start back with the 5. They have to start with the 5 in the back, whether it be Kevin on the right or the other guy, the youngster Dago, and then on the left, who would you guys have?
That's a good question. I have to think about it because if it's a 5 in the back, well, I mean, honestly, pretty much our only option is Borja.
Yeah. Borja. So it'd be them. So it'd be the 5-3-2.
Even though I don't really like when Borja goes up because usually Brian plays there, and Borja isn't like he's a pretty good crosser of the ball, but going forward, like I'd rather have. Because if he goes up, it's basically 2v2. Whereas if he just doesn't go, then he gives Brian more space to go one-on-one. So I'd rather have that. So if anything, play 5 in the back. And then when just come out playing, or the only wing back that should go up is on that right-hand side. And then it shifts to a back 4. You know what I mean?
And you guys have to have a libero where it would be in the middle, which would be that. So it'd be Borja, Kevin... Cáceres.
I put Reyes
and Ramon Juarez.
Or Lichnowsky.
I say Lichnowsky, Ramon Juarez, or even Jonathan Dos Santos in that midfield right here, and then have Alexis, this is where you guys can incorporate Alexis Gutierrez because the best version of him is when he's playing that 5-3-2. So I mean, you guys have a good depth in that center, center defensive spot. You guys kind of fill in with whoever, but I think if you guys were to incorporate Alexis Gutierrez, Jonathan Dos Santos, kind of as another one of those liberos in that 3 center defensive mid, and then have Sendejas with Alexis Gutierrez feeding Maximin and Brian Rodriguez up top, I think that would kind of work for you guys a little bit. Or even Pantera with Maximin. Because then they could switch off with a 9 and a 10.
I think Pantera is still kind of like coming in.
Yeah.
Like he's still kind of like a off the bench option.
Yeah. Or even Buffalo, my bad. Even Buffalo. I kind of always seem to forget him.
I think they should play with 3 like legitimate center backs and then have Jonah and then Chiquito. So like
Chiquito Sanchez, my bad.
Like 5-2-3.
Yeah.
The option again is just that 9. But I don't know. I was saying Maxi, but Maxi's thing is he's a one-on-one player.
Yeah.
So
or you can keep him as a main striker with Sendejas on his right and then Alexis Gutierrez on his left.
Gutierrez on the winger?
That's his best version though, when he's kind of like that center attacking mid, that link-up play, that was the best version that Cruz Azul brought out of him.
I just think if they're playing 5 in the back, which I think they should.
Yeah.
I think they should do 5-2-3, not 5-3-2, because then it's like too defensive.
Yeah.
And then you don't have as many attacking options. Yeah. But yeah, I think we're kind of on the same page though, as far as like America
being successful to find a way to
being defensive. Because with Alfie Hidalgo, America doesn't really have much of a midfield left.
Yeah, no.
So they just have to kind of play counterattack. But at the same time, I still think they need to try and limit the time of possession for Monterrey though.
Yeah.
Because Monterrey is too talented of a team to give them that initiative to attack you.
Yeah.
Other teams, you can give them that luxury, but especially now since they have even more attacking options. But yeah, moving on. Last game of the week: Santos versus Atlético de San Luis.
A lot of ass versus ass this week, bro. Who do you got?
I got Santos.
Yeah, I got Santos too. Santos at home haven't really lost at home.
Yeah, they've feels like Santos is due for a win, and they've only allowed 1 goal at home in their last 2 home games.
Okay,
so they're better at home
than away.
Yeah, and I think Atlético de San Luis, they might be too reliant on the what's your boy's name? Joao Pedro.
Yeah.
So outside of him, they don't really have much going, and I think that's something that Santos can kind of game plan for.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, it's like, who do they really have, you know? So I think it's more so a desperation pick for Santos.
Yeah.
But I got them winning at home.
Yeah. Same here.
All right. That wraps up our Liga MX Jornada 9 picks. Before we finish off today's show, you want to talk about the fight that we had a little preview for?
Yeah.
Canelo versus Crawford.
I'll jump right into it. Canelo looked washed. He looked absolutely washed. He proved to all the Canelo haters that he is one-dimensional. He lost a pep in his step. He was fighting very flat-footed, and I just don't think he expected Crawford to be that powerful. And I think you could see it when he would get punched by Crawford. You could tell that he didn't expect that much power to come behind those punches.
Yeah, I thought that throughout the course of the fight, you would start to see Canelo's punches take a toll on Crawford, but it was actually the opposite. Throughout, as the fight went on, you started to see Crawford's punches take a toll on Canelo.
Yeah,
and I think I agree with your assessment of the fight. I think the fight pretty much can be summed up in the sequence of Canelo was just looking to land that big shot, and even when he would land, it was like Bud saw it coming.
Yeah.
And I feel like Bud's length really bothered Canelo. Pause. Because every time Canelo would have like throw a big shot, it felt like he was kind of extending a bit. And with Crawford's reach, even when Canelo would land a shot, it was nothing like that Crawford didn't see coming. And even when he would land it, Bud would throw like a quick combination and get like 2 to 3 punches off to Canelo's like 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And according to CompuBox, Bud landed more total punches, 115 to 99. He landed more than double the amount of jabs than Canelo did, while being more accurate with power punches, 33.7% to 31.9%. It was just honestly a masterclass from Bud. And I thought it was a little bit almost disrespectful that most of the pundits were picking Crawford, because Canelo's basically an all-time fighter in his own right. And for a guy to go up 2 weight classes with no tune-up fights and beat him, I thought before the fight was a little bit disrespectful. But after watching the fight, it's clear that Bud is just a better fighter. And they were completely right.
Yeah, not only is he a better fighter, he showed that he has more than one ways to win, which has kind of always been Canelo's weakness, is that he only had just kind of one way to win, was just and a lot of what Canelo's game plans was just walking his opponents down, and he just could not do that with Crawford. And I think Crawford just showed everybody that the strongest form of strength out there is hood strength.
Yeah, another thing too is one thing I was surprised by was how willing Bud was to sit in and exchange with Canelo.
Bro,
because like there was time it happened several times throughout the fight where you're like, all right, like Bud's just sitting in there and Canelo was not able to hit him with anything. He hit him with a couple good shots, but nothing like super clean. You never really saw Crawford rattled at all.
Crawford would win those exchanges.
Yeah, he
would. He won every single one of them.
Yeah, that was crazy to see. I think Bud might be the best fighter I've seen. The first fight that I remember watching was De La Hoya versus Mayweather. So
that's crazy.
You too? Yeah. So like that's when I started watching boxing. Yeah. From what I've seen, I think Bud is probably the most well-rounded fighter I've seen. Because we never saw Mayweather go up to 168. And Bud is the first fighter undisputed in 3 different weight classes. Yep. That's just, bro, that's mind-boggling. How do you go up? Honestly, I thought Madrimov gave Bud a better fight than Canelo.
I think Canelo did, yeah. He did. And one thing about kind of going back to Mayweather, a hot topic right now is Bud Crawford better than what Mayweather was? And kind of the knock to Mayweather was that Mayweather, he always fought the same type of opponent. He never went outside of his opponent. Like Crawford, stylistically, isn't a good matchup for Canelo. Wasn't a good matchup for him, but I think Crawford just overall showed that he's not afraid to go outside of the box. And then his last with when he fought Spence, we all thought it was going to be a hard fight for Crawford, but bro, Crawford dog walked Spence, bro. He dog walked him.
He stopped him.
And I had never seen a beatdown like that, but he beat his ass. And I did not think Crawford was going to do that to Canelo, nor what we saw in the fight. Did I think he was going to do that? I did think Canelo was going to win. But just Crawford is different.
Canelo didn't even look that much bigger than him.
That's what that was another thing that I was gonna say. Crawford looked bigger than Canelo.
He was almost fighting like the bigger guy too, because we talked about how he was willing to sit there and exchange. Yeah. He didn't do it the whole fight because he was still being smart. But once Crawford, I can't remember exactly what round it was, but once Canelo landed a good shot and he actually felt his power, I feel like that actually benefited Bud because he started getting more confidence. Like, oh, like that's it, you know?
Yeah.
And then that's when he started loosening up. And he even started taunting Canelo, bro.
Yeah.
When he was like all sticking his tongue out, which, you know, I wasn't a big fan of.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show like how confident he was in the ring. And I didn't know he had that much of a reach on him. Because that was a big factor. But it was also, I hadn't noticed that he's 2 years older than Canelo too. And he did not, he looked like the busier fighter. He looked sharper. He looked more in shape. Canelo looked like gassed towards the later rounds.
Yeah, and I didn't know that too up until, you know, they brought up the stats right before the fight. And I was like, damn, what the fuck? Crawford's like older? Like, oh yeah, Canelo got this. Like, we're going to see that Canelo has the better gas tank rather than Crawford. But it was just... the age is just a number at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Crawford, I think he impressed everybody.
In a way, it was kind of like what we've seen from both fighters as of late. Because the criticism for Canelo in this fight, you could say the same about his other fights. You know, he doesn't like throw as much as he used to.
Yeah.
He looks a little bit slower defensively than what we've seen. Even though for this fight in the beginning, I think he did look sharper defensively to start off.
The first round, I thought he won because I was like, okay, he looks good. You know, he's coming at him. Which I think a lot of people. I think people gave that first round to Canelo, but after that, it was just like he couldn't find anything. I think that was like, I don't know.
It could have. I feel like it could have easily been. The judges were tripping, low key, high key.
Yeah,
because it could have been like 8-4, and then I think they said that if two of the judges, if Bud hadn't have won those last 2 rounds, it would have like been a draw, or it could have gone Canelo's way. That's crazy, bro.
No.
I think
Canelo won like 3 rounds max, if that.
Yeah, but yeah, just masterclass performance from Bud. That was insane to watch.
It was crazy.
Is he done?
I think so. Like he said, he even said it himself, his body just can't keep up anymore.
Oh, really? He said that?
Yeah. And one thing to note, too, is that Crawford isn't going to stay at 168. He's going down to 160. But there's no real good fights for him at 160. It's either one of the Charlo brothers, but, I mean, I think he should try and fight Bivol. I don't think Crawford should try to fight Benavidez.
I think Bivol's still a little bit too big because even though... Because I think Bivol's at light heavy, right? So that's 175. I feel like that's too much because Canelo's fought at 175, but even at 168, he's not like a super big 168.
Yeah.
I think that's what Bud said as well. Like, because they were asked him about Benavidez, like, bro, that's crazy. You can't have, like, that's way too much to ask of Bud to fight Benavidez.
And I think Bud's response is exactly what Canelo is thinking. Just Canelo has never publicly answered it and said it that way. But like yeah, it's true. He's way too fucking tall. And come find out, he's going to come in at 200 pounds. And his reach is fucking insane.
And not unlike Canelo, Benavidez is very active. He throws a bunch of combinations and punches. But yeah, basically, I think Crawford, in a way, going back to the fight, just to wrap it up, I think Crawford basically did to Canelo what Canelo usually does to others. Yeah. Because Canelo, even though he's, again, not like the biggest 168 and we've seen him at 175, usually he's fighting bigger guys. And like Bud, even though they're the smaller fighters, in this fight they were able to take the punch and then they were able to counter and make them pay. So I think Crawford gave Canelo a bit, in a different style, but he kind of gave Canelo a piece of his own medicine.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mexico, we're not looking too hot.
But all right, guys, that wraps up today's episode. Again, we appreciate all the feedback, all the support you guys have given us. One thing we would like to say is we would love to see even more feedback from you guys. We want Sports Estimators to be an interactive platform, so we're here to give you guys our take, but we'd love to hear your guys' take, whether you agree or disagree. We want to use this space not only to give our opinions, but also to hopefully learn from you guys and grow as sports fans. So as always, thank you, and please give a like, share, comment, all that good stuff. And we'll be back next week with another video.
And like always, don't quote us unless we're right. Peace.